Response video to Fred. Haven't played this video, just did the beginning. It's a response to Amanda. He says, blah, blah, blah. How are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then he says, now he's going to say something critical. So, okay, this is antinatalism needs critical friends. Well, duh. Yeah, every philosophy needs supporters. Yeah, that matter. Unfortunately, that's the way the world works. It just isn't a straight-on battle of reason. Seldom is it. It's a battle of personalities and gang warfare and all that crap. So anyway, let's see what he has to say. I don't think there's going to be a counter-argument for antinatalism in here. I don't think there is.
Because I think I would regard myself as a critical friend, and I think you and, well, not just you, Amanda, but you and other people who consider themselves antinatalists need critical friends right now. Not just me, you need a bunch of critical friends, and I'll come back to that term.
Okay, critical friends. Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost like your brand of friendship, your brand of affiliation with a philosophy, I would almost argue is detrimental to the cause. It's almost like the wishy-washy Christian is probably not doing the real Christians any favors. In terms of making an argument, in terms of having integrity, in terms of, you know, on so many levels. Yeah, and so I mean, I would argue that, you know, this is one of those with friends like you who needs enemies kind of things. You know, it's almost like the heroin church version of the right to die or caring about anything. It was always from a personal perspective, and once the personal perspective is satisfied, the cause is of no meaning. There is no real integrity or depth to how much he gives a rat's ass. And so, yeah, who needs people who don't give a rat's ass? I mean, they're usually not going to be very good for your cause because they're going to abandon you. They're going to fuck you over when it's to their convenience. And so people who are doing it for convenience, who have no strong principle, I would argue are not critical friends. They're critical fence walkers who are just in the way for having a good fight. I mean, we can't have a good fight because there's a bunch of fence walkers in between the borderline who just keep getting in the fucking way. I can't throw my spear and hit something with you assholes in the way. You're in the way. Yeah. That's a good critique. So yeah, I was critical. I critiqued you.
At the end. The reason why I'm saying this, and really why I'm making this video, is it's to do with the way that antinatalism and this thing called ethylism is being argued. I know you guys are convinced by your argument. I know that. Now, I admire your conviction, and
no, you don't, right? Because you're going to do the butt thing now. You're going to do this cliche butt thing. I know you're this, and I know you're that, and I know you're that, but blah, 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 you shouldn't be. It's stupid. You admire it, but you don't admire it, because you're basically going to say it's somehow not founded, or has no integrity, or it's not disciplined, or it's not correct in some way. It's somehow incorrect to have a no, this is not satisfactory attitude. You're supposed to be like the rest of them and eat your gruel and sup your shit and shut the fuck up. Well, fuck you. You do that. You've already done that. You've already been a player in the fucking game. You've already played the game. You've already contributed to the game. You've paid for the, you know, it's like the unions putting their money in the stock market. You've paid your owners well. You've financed their tyranny. Bravo. And you're going to tell me how much you admire my passion. Well, fuck you. Because from your position, you have no right to admire it. You have no business being anywhere near it. Because you don't believe in any of it. You don't give a fuck about any of it.
I have a lot of sympathy with the views. I said that in my previous video. I don't call myself anything that ends in ist, and I don't support anything that ends in ism. But my beliefs are, and my opinions, my convictions.
Yeah, well there's just no principle in that either. I mean, what's the principle there? Okay, there's no such thing as a humanist. You know, a humanitarian. You never call yourself one of those. Culturalist, civilizationalist. That's one of my favorite ist words. I made that up, you know. Yeah, I got no problem with that. You go ahead and put ist on good things. I'm a chocolate cakeist. Potato chipist. Come on.
Things that have convinced me, the things that I've read and studied and thought about, lead me to conclusions which are probably very similar to your own. But the way you...
you won't say it. You won't advocate for it. You won't even make a statement like, if you really study this, it's broken. Okay? And I would like to sort of redo what I did in my life because, I've done things completely conducive to the rolling of this stupid Sisyphus ball. And it's going to roll back on everything. It's going to crush, kill, and destroy all over the fucking place. And it's just really stupid. And if we had just a little bit of foresight, we could avoid it. Most human beings are not nataling sufficiently to maintain human population. It's a minority of human beings that are creating the entire rubbish problem on this planet. There's no rubbish problem if we can have people who figure out that, life, even under the best of circumstances, is dicey, okay, is barely rationally sensible, and under the average circumstances, it sucks, and under the below average circumstances, it's insufferable nonsense that only a fucking lunatic should have the excuse of perpetrating.
But arguing with you guys is just awful. I'm sorry. It really is. I know, as I say, I know you're convinced by your arguments, and you think that...
I know you haven't made a counter-argument, and I know no one else has been able to have the balls to make a counter-argument. I've put the effortless videos in their face, the nice, polite videos where I don't call anybody a stupid weasel and a dumb motherfucking cunt or any of that goddamn shit, and no one's come even close to making a counter-argument to anything in those videos. Those arguments are rock-fucking solid, and to say we're not getting anywhere is kind of lame, too, because... sort of, kind of, maybe, some agenda has been set here. The word does come up now. People do have to deal with it in certain circumstances now. So it's moving. It's migrating as a philosophy. It's evolving as a philosophy, as a movement, as a fucking movement. Yeah, I don't like int after the end of words. That's my word thing. I don't like int. Okay, yeah, so I don't like movements. Well, that's not int, but the same damn point. Okay, yeah, I don't like that kind of bullshit. But the fact is, Fred, it's kind of a bogus argument to make because I've got you talking about it too, don't I? Yeah, that's right, I do.
They're rock solid, but they're not, quite frankly. A lot of what passes for argument amongst the anti-natalists, I don't want to group you together too much, but a lot of what passes for anti-natalist argumentation isn't argumentation. I'm sorry, it isn't. It's rhetoric.
Oh, it's rhetoric. Okay, well, why don't you play some of this rhetoric? Why don't you refute some of this rhetoric? Why don't you show in some way how the rhetoric this is obviously just rhetoric. This is a straw man, or this is a non-logical conclusion drawing, or this is bold, nonsensical speculation. No, I think you're the ones I can accuse of that. You're the ones who I can play your videos and say, well, that's complete bullshit, Fred. You just basically said, Fred, that you think the standard model of physics with the strings and the wiggly-wagglies is fucking reality, and everybody accepts it, and it's just generically proven fact. Well, that was bullshit, Fred. I mean, your assumptions are the ones I can tear to fucking goddamn shreds. Your playing of this stupid metaphorical nonsense game where that's the only way we can interpret the world. No, we can interpret it because we get bitten by something real in the world. It's not a fucking metaphor. And then there's something else that looks like, well, that's going to bite too. It's not a fucking metaphor. It's a one-on-one fucking comparison that this does this is in this category, this is in that category, this will probably do the same motherfucking thing. And the fact that this life thing is goddamn fucking pointless, and everybody's getting run over today, everybody who's going to die of cancer today, everybody who's going to do everything to goddamn day, is no less valuable than me. And if I wouldn't want to live their fucking life, then I got no business supporting this fucking game. So if I wouldn't be willing to pull the fucking straw that's got their ugly ass on it, their pimply, ugly fucking ass on it, if I wouldn't want to pull the fucking ugly ass, pimple ass disease straw, then I shouldn't be playing the fucking game. Or endorsing it. Lame ass.
Rick, it's extended use of allegories and analogies. It's extended use of poetic metaphors. I know you don't think they are poetic metaphors, but a lot of it is.
Yeah, well, you prove nothing here. This is just you smell like shit. Okay, you smell like fucking shit. I bet if somebody tasted you, you would taste like well, I can't say shit. You would taste like because I don't know what shit tastes like actually, not on purpose anyway. Yeah, so you probably taste like rotten meatloaf. There, I'll just make some generic statement. I won't prove it. I won't demonstrate with a single goddamn fact or argument. I'll just make the fucking statement like an arrogant goddamn asshole. Bravo! You're an arrogant goddamn asshole.
A lot of it is internally incoherent. A lot of it is internally inconsistent.
You suck. You're an asshole. You... I don't know. What? You got pimples on your ass? What is this bullshit? This little ream of accusations. You ought to back up one of them. Just fucking one of them. With a little bit of fucking thing called evidence. We actually demonstrate it. You actually show it. And then you say, see how this fits into this category. And see how there's no doubt about how it fits in this dumb conclusion category. Why don't you do that?
It's just not very good. I'm sorry, it's just not very good. And that's not just...
Yeah, okay, you're pretty sucky there. Fred's pretty sucky. Yeah, completely unqualified opinion. Doesn't mean a motherfucking thing. Bravo the fucko for me. Fred's pretty sucky. I'll make her write a song about it. Fred's pretty sucky.
It is yourselves. You know, none of us are philosophers. None of us are schooled in this area particularly well.
Even that pretension. None of us are schooled in this area particularly well. We don't live a life. We couldn't possibly draw a conclusion about what we're doing here. None of us is, well, I mean, Darwin. Well, is that philosophy or science? None of us are scientists. None of us are qualified to glean information and draw rational conclusions. The only people who are qualified to do that are some asshole who wrote some other asshole's book. Right? So, you know, unless you've read Book of Asshole, you're not qualified to have an opinion on what fucking life is? Stupid.
None of us have got the thinking skills, and none of us have the history at our command, and the capacities to do this as well as perhaps we should.
I can't believe this shit. Aristotle had nothing compared to what we have. I learned in grammar school more than Aristotle knew in his whole fucking goddamn life. And you're going to tell me I'm not qualified to philosophize? Oh, fuck. I mean, you know, to draw conclusions? I mean, I've seen Earth from the moon. I've seen the photograph of Earth from the moon. And you're going to tell me I'm not qualified. Fuck you.
But it's really showing up right now. And even the best of us, you know, even the David Benatar book, which is rapidly becoming a kind of Bible, is itself, it's well argued, the case is made. But even that relies on not very...
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think it's all that great a book, you know, I'm sorry. But yeah, I really don't. I mean, it's great that he wrote it. And the asymmetry argument is great. That somebody's just kind of spelled out this idea that, wait a minute, the whole idea of this thing needing to exist is just a perception in people's heads. It's not in the real world. There is no screaming damsel in distress. The damsel in distress is entirely a mental perception. That single argument is incredibly powerful because it undoes the whole necessity, the whole urgency, the whole idea that you can somehow pay a high price for this. You can't pay any price for this because this satisfies no hunger that you didn't create by existing in the first place. It's all us. We make the mess. Then we clean up some of the mess so we can give ourselves a little badge that says we are a mess cleaner-upper. This is a fraud. We are living a fucking lie. We start the fire and then we go out and put the fire out and rescue half the people and then call ourselves hero. That's a fucking fraud. And Benatar, I think I just explained it better than Benatar did in his whole fucking book, to tell you the goddamn truth. His book was a big, boring fart. Okay? And the only thing valuable in the whole goddamn thing was this simple asymmetry argument that you can't hurt something that you didn't give hurtability to. And that there's no reason to impose hurtability. There's no reason to invent hurtability. There's no reason to pour hurtability into the fucking glass. That's the fucking argument. I just made an argument better than his argument again.
Strong philosophical strategies. You know, I mean, it's not wrong. It just isn't a very strong set of arguments. And as I say, I don't know that much about philosophy, but even I can see that it's relying on...
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever. I mean, this is disgusting. I don't know anything about the subject, but I can see it. I mean, you just unqualified yourself and then opined. I mean, you know how fucking idiotic that is? Well, I don't know much about physics, but even I can tell that all these physicists are full of shit. I don't know much about logic, all right? But I can tell that logic is idiotic. All right, you know, it's possible to do that, but yeah, it's not very sensible.
Fairly weak premises. So...
All right.
Basically,
wait.
it's
No.
just not very strong argumentation.
No. Foul. DNA molecule. Replication for the sake of fucking replication. No consensual participation in a fucking slaughterhouse game. Trapdoors every fucking where. An idiotic, moronic lottery that doesn't need to exist. Complete cultural owning of people's psychology and mentality by pop culture lies. A fucking farce. You're going to tell me none of those premises are well-founded? That none of them can be effectively or sensibly or logically with integrity argued? Fuck you. You are such a fucking cunt asshole. This is bullshit fucking commentary, you fucking weasel.
Various things. Learning through doing, getting arguments together, finding ways to refute one another. You know, we're all here to learn. We're all trying to...
Oh, what a crock of shit. No, we're all here to make goddamn arguments, you dumb fucking cunt. I'm not here to learn anything from you assholes. Not one of you fucking cunts, except for the modern mystic once, has ever made a fucking sensible statement that means a goddamn motherfucking thing to me. Not one fucking one of you. All right, you haven't said a fucking thing in my whole knowledge of you that I say, wow, I would have never seen it that way if it wasn't for Fred. All right, your contribution to my intellectual knowledge base has been fucking goddamn zero. Okay, in the conversation, at least with the modern mystic, he basically said, I said it better than him, but he gave me the seed of understanding that I have more power to influence your fucking brain than your fucking brain has power to influence itself. Okay, I own you. I make you. The environment makes us. I'm a byproduct of the puke and the smell and the stink that's leaching off of the fucking lies that is the human race. Their lies have finally coalesced into a human being that can say, this is all a big fucking lie. All right? Okay? I'm their byproduct. I wasn't made by me. I was made by the putrid scum that the human beings have left piles of throughout human history, through their hypocrisy and their duplicity and their silliness and their stupidity and their ignorance. That's what I'm a byproduct of, is the fact that they do suck. And I'm just the universe realizing, holy fucking shit, we grew a brain and what did we do with it? We scratched our ass with a chopstick.
Better ourselves. We're all trying to get a bit closer and approximation to the truth in our heads. You know, we're all doing that, and that's laudable. And one of my interests in the way that antinatalism is being discussed isn't just because it has aspects which accord with my own, but with my own feelings, but also because it's one of the more interesting discussions on YouTube.
Oh, my own feelings. No, they're not ideas. No, they're feelings. My own feelings. Oh, I just hate this conversation. I hate this breaking of the fucking language. I'm not having a conversation about my feelings. My feelings are a reaction to a disgusting and revolting reality. And they're irrelevant. And when it's relevant is the argument, is the understanding. DNA molecule, 4 billion years of mindless, pointless replication, a bunch of robots killing each other. They fall on the first ouch, and then that ouch is used as a manipulative weapon, like a fucking provocatus that sticks its fucking and sucks the blood out of things. It's just a goddamn motherfucking weapon in this biological evolution. And now all these things are just victims of the fact that they've been bestowed with this capacity to feel because it was a good tool in motivating organisms to go out and kill each other and eat each other. The whole fucking thing is hideous. If it was made by something on purpose, it could only be called a hideous monstrosity of an insane preposterousness.
and related sites right now. A lot of the stuff that passes for argumentation on YouTube generally is stuff that's been trotted out endlessly over and over again. And antinatalism is relatively fresh in that. There is genuinely interesting territory to explore there. But it's just not being explored very well. It's being territorialized in a really unfortunate...
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's unfortunate only because people have gotten all butthurt. Because people have said life is stupid and people don't want to hear that argument, so they are the ones who start the fucking personal attacks and all the other crap that comes with that. Alright? But you're going to say that somehow the anti-natalists have been doing that? No. They've been making an argument. They've been pointing out this is the evolution, this is what it does, and all these other assholes who keep trying to come up with some kind of other love gene or some other kind of everything will be alright, rainbow dust. The Professor Antons of the world, just pretend it makes sense. Pretend it's a fair game. Pretend it's a game worth playing. Just keep fucking pretending. Don't fucking look behind the curtain. For God fucking sakes, don't look behind the curtain. That's all they're saying and doing.
Way. There's a lot of protectionism around it. It's just not... the calibre of the argument just isn't very good. I'm sorry, it really isn't. And I know that some of you...
Yeah, whatever. Again, you base this on what? And where's your evidence of this? You have a low-caliber argument. All right, well, why don't you detail how small the bullets are, okay, and how they're made out of plastic, and they're synthetic, and they're cheap, and they're not really good bullets. Why don't you fucking do that? Pretentious. You're just going to ride on some kind of fucking elitism now. That's all you're doing. You're just talking from your little ivory tower cachet, as an interesting person to listen to. So now that you're an interesting person to listen to, you're just using that to somehow use this. Look, the interesting person to listen to says it's all crap. He's not going to prove it. He's not going to demonstrate. He's just going to say it. Bravo. Very courageous.
You hearing this, Amanda, maybe you, but other people certainly, will possibly be offended by that, and who knows, you may even be inspired to fire back some kind of volley. But if you can try and resist the temptation and take this, as I say, as the words of a critical friend.
Yeah, critical, like I said, again, I don't want that kind of friend. I don't want fake friends. I don't want fucking people who care about animals because, hey, I'm much healthier without them. I don't want people playing the game for the wrong reasons. You either play the game for the right reasons or get the fuck off the goddamn board. Get the fuck out of the way so I can find the enemy and shoot him in the fucking head. I don't need fake supporters. I don't need handmaidens of uselessness, especially when they're these kind that say, well, you really don't want to fight. No, you really don't want to get into the war. No, you really don't want to say, no. Oh, well, you really don't look good today. Maybe you ought to just stay in bed because you look like hell. I mean, fuck your critique. Fuck your bullshit. Fuck all this more crap from the do-nothings. More crap from the very force that has kept everybody mind dead for fucking ever. This is what keeps the human race mind dead, is these kinds of cheap fucking critiques.
I think you would be well advised, personally. Particularly when, and this is what's prompted this, particularly, and I think this is to you, Amanda, particularly when you're using that sense of conviction, that sense of convincement. You are convinced now. The arguments have convinced you. These arguments, which, as I say, I think are not strong, I can convince you to the extent where
all right,
you and I, Amanda, who've talked.
You want to rise and fall on that?
I like you, and I think you like me. And,
yeah, well, I liked you. But then, but I've always had my doubts. And now you've shown your lack of character. You don't have any fucking character. You're just a wishy-washy game player. You're in the game. You're just playing the fucking game. You're not analyzing the game. And you couldn't be bothered to tell you couldn't, what's the English phrase for that again? You couldn't be asked to give a fuck, okay? Because all you are is playing your little pawn role, and you're just going to put on some kind of silly suit now and then, put on your rabbit ears and do some funny little pawn things and entertain the pawns, but you're never going to get the pawns out of the pawnery, all right? You're not going to get the job done. your wishy-washy, mishy-mushy, nothing vacant statements of protest are useless. They're not pointed. They're not aggressive. And now you're basically saying the argument again. From what authority do you critique the argument? You're not demonstrating. You're not going to prove your point. So until you prove it, until you quote the argument, until you quote the people making the argument, and you refute what they fucking said in some sort of decisive way, your protestations of their whatever it is you're saying in this veiled manner, their delusionment, their excessive confidence on a weak argument that you haven't demonstrated to be weak. It's only weak because it can't defeat people who are hopelessly and persistently reluctant to look behind the curtain.
You know, you've said nice things about me. You've made a sculpture of me with rabbit ears on, you know, and you said nice things about it. You know, I have told you that I don't want you to kill me, and you've told me now, on the strength of your convictions, that if you had the opportunity, you would press a button that would kill me, along with everybody else. That's what you say you like me, but you would press the button that would kill me, even though I have told you that I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, well, I know, but it doesn't matter that you don't want it to happen. Because all the other victims, all the victims that nobody speaks for, or they speak with no fucking voice for, all the cows and all the pigs and all the fucking animals in nature being abused every day, all the human beings who die horribly and pointlessly and never got to say, holy shit, my life was goddamn stupid. Please, please, please don't make me do this again. All the people who would say, don't make me do this again. Okay, you're the one telling them they have to do it again. You're the one saying, get crushed in the earthquake again. Die in the war again. Pointlessly and stupidly die at 6 years old of cancer again. Die of AIDS again. You're saying do it over and over and over and over again. You're the imposer, fucker.
Now that's fine. But if you're going to make that kind of a policy statement, you know, if that's the statement you arrive at, then you've got to be 100% sure that you're on rock solid philosophical ground. And right now, you ain't. None of you are.
Oh, right. We can't figure out that nadling makes more people, and that more people, if people are feeding the nadlers, if they're supporting the nadlers, if they're giving them a tax subsidy and they're financing their mortgage and they're making for more and more babies, that somehow those two things are now connected. That people living and the existence of more people is now connected because the people who exist who aren't going to necessarily nadle, if they're financing the nadling, that's right, they're responsible for it now. They're a key cog in the wheel turning. The wheel doesn't turn without their fucking grease. So as long as you're greasing the fucking wheel, you deserve everything you fucking get.
Sorry, you just aren't. It's really interesting what you're talking about, but it's not philosophy, it's rhetoric.
Yeah, we'll point out the difference, really. It's rhetoric to add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 and say it's 8. That's fucking rhetoric. It's rhetoric to just add up the simple facts of our origins, the simple fact of our construct, the simple fact of how we are just being gamed like a goddamn bug in a fucking goddamn maze game, that the system is essentially some evil mad scientist just saying how can we make that bug eat that bug even quicker, and maybe we can give it another fucking weapon to shove up its ass and suck its brains out through its ears. I mean, that's rhetoric though. That's just fucking rhetoric. Because it just sounds like the fucking truth, so it must be fucking rhetoric. That looks a little bit like a guy behind a curtain, and you just don't want to hear the guy behind the curtain story. Because you want to live in fucking Oz. Because you're an asshole.
And propaganda, a lot of it. Sorry, it just is. I know it's just not very well argued. If there's stuff to argue, you're just not doing it very well. And one of the reasons why you're not doing it very well is because of the way you treat your critics.
Yeah, whatever. Again, it's just such a pile of shit. The arguments are there, okay, in all kinds of forms. All kinds of different messengers have reconstructed the argument. Some of them in little soft voices, little soft passive voices. And you have the choice to respond, all right? And I don't see anybody doing anything but coming to the guy who is the stinkiest and the dirtiest and just saying he's stinky and dirty. You know, you fuckers have the balls to take on the argument. And you've made that obvious. So that's my critique of you. You're a bunch of fucking sissies.
You know, all your critics right now, at least from your perspective, are enemies. You don't have any critical friends, and that's what you need. You know, not everybody who finds holes in your argument or who is critical of what you say and the way you say it, not everyone is an enemy, you know. You need...
Again, this is just idiotic, right? The guy who doesn't really have any passion for slavery abolition... yeah, you have to make friends with all those people because somehow they're going to do something. They're going to fight in the war for it. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that's just preposterous nonsense that there's some need for these critical wishy-washies, okay, to make the fucking thing look bad. Yeah, I don't need you to make vegetarian look bad, to tell you the truth. I really don't.
People to help you find those, to find better ways of arguing your case, to point out the flaws in the arguments that you've got. Not in order to really...
Yeah, whatever, to point out the flaws, but again, where's that come from? Nowhere. To be serious? Oh yeah, let's use some pseudoscience. That's a good counter-argument. Or some other person says, well, read this, and then read this, and look at this, look what's in New Scientist. New Scientist. It proves that atheists are autistic. Yeah, we see what the counter-argument is. Crap!
You and to pwn you and to bring your arguments crashing down, but to sharpen your argument and to refine them and to make them better and to build them on them. That's what a good...
Yeah, well, I think over the past year a lot of that has been done. Okay, you got the Gray videos, you got, like I said, a variety of people now. Jay's making the arguments, some really sound, hard, damn good arguments. I mean, this is lame fucking bullshit on your part, okay? The argument's not getting sloppier and more disconnected. It's getting more precision, more scalpel-like, and it's cutting your fucking phantasmagorical little nuts off.
What friend is for. So, anyway, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say, but I'm sorry this is probably coming across a bit more aggressive than I intended. I don't feel aggressive about it, but... You know, I guess I'd just like to, either be involved or to be left alone, really. Because at the moment, you know, as I say, if you say anything negative...
You're left alone. I mean, it's so interesting. I'll make arguments on the internet. I'll say fucking shit on the internet, but I want you to leave me alone. I don't think that works. I really don't. No.
You guys, and you're the enemy. If you're not for us, you're against us. No, people can be against you and for you. People can be arguing and still be for you.
Yeah, it says you. I mean, I just think that's a lousy, stupid, idiotic argument. Okay? I mean, I think those people just get in the way. They're just a lodestone. They're just weight in the back seat of the fucking car. Who needs the backseat drivers? Who needs the wimp asses who don't want to do anything, who just want to fucking preach it? Fuck that.
Be on your team, but still say things you disagree with. And that's what a lot of people, I think, would like. I mean, I would certainly like.
Yeah, well, you want to create an atmosphere of wishy-washy, like we don't know anything yet. How exactly does that help any philosophy at all? I wouldn't want that guy on any team. For any belief system I had, what good would the wishy-washy, oh, but we can't be sure, this could be the Matrix, this could be the Emerald City, and it's just upside down in the inverted planet. Yeah, it's on the opposite planet, and it's on the inside of the Earth. Like all the buildings are going down instead of up. And yeah, so, I mean, theoretically, we should be living on the underside of the Earth's crust. And so that's why we have everything backwards, because we're not really seeing the light, because we're only supposed to see the light when you look into the center of the Earth and you see the sun reflected off the center of the Earth. I mean, yeah, okay, play your fucking goddamn wishy-washy game. We don't know enough. We can't draw any conclusions. Let's just status quo, wishy-washy, mushy. Who the fuck believes in anything wants that guy hanging around? I mean, you know, go ahead, be wishy-washy. But there's nothing about these facts, there's nothing about this rhetoric, there's nothing about this argument that has any, that can be wished on or washed. Okay? It's not wishy-washy. It's rock fucking solid. It's dead hard dense as hell. You're not gonna. It has no fragility. All right. And you're demonstrating that with 8 minutes and 47 seconds of just a fucking ballless critique. A critique with nothing. It's just fucking goddamn vapor. Not one fucking piece of evidence defending a single goddamn fucking thing you said.
Be a critical friend. I would like to be able to criticise what you're saying without being snarled at, without being insulted, without being told I'm indulging in bibble babble, or without being endlessly told that things are just true. Jay Sounder, that's one of your strategies, by the way. You're a clever guy, you're a thinker. It doesn't help your case when you just say things like it's just true or it's obvious. No.
Well, you can say those aren't persuasive prefaces to the argument. I mean, those are prefaces. Here he says this is just fucking true, and it's a simple thing like, yes, we feel. These are the premises for logical cognition. We don't live on upside-down Earthia, okay? This is the reality. It's a replicating fucking molecule. It has no fucking mission statement. It has no fucking function. We Earthlings can do nothing more than the non-existent Plutonians. The fucking universe is not weeping any tears because there's no one on Saturn talking bullshit out of their fucking ass. So again, your argument is failed. There's no emptiness to Jay's promise that if you look at this, you will see this truth is glaring. It's fucking glaringly true. This is tic-tac-toe, and you phantasmagorals go on and keep saying, no, it's a real game. It's a real game. It's a real game. It's a real game. No, it's not a real game. It's a game only an asshole or a retard could play, right? The asshole being somebody who takes advantage of like 5-year-olds, right? So he can still play it because he knows the cheat and he's playing against somebody who doesn't know the cheat, so he can play it. And that's what I consider you to be, Fred. You're just an asshole who's keeping the ignorant stupid, okay? Who's lying to himself to make a fucking life for yourself. So go the fuck ahead and do that, but that's what it is. It's a fucking lie, okay? So you can keep playing an idiotic game, all right? So you can defend a game you're invested in. Period.
Oh, it doesn't. You've got to get past that. So yeah, I would like to be a critical friend. I know other people would too. I think Professor Anton would like to be a critical friend.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean, you couldn't have said anything funnier than that, could you? Could you really make a better joke than that? I mean, that is like fucking 10 dead gooses. You can't get better than that, Fred. That's like a third bunny ear. I mean, it's a mono ear. Yeah, mono ear. I mean, it's fucking brilliant. Like Professor Anton. Yeah, he's just the guy you want on the fucking sinking boat. Well, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have a cigarette over there and mind my own business. And, maybe I'll have a conversation about boat dynamics. As the boat just sinks and everybody goes glug glug and freezes to death and dies. Fuck.
Friend, he doesn't always say things as clearly as he might, neither do I. In which case you can ask him what he means and see if we can get to the bottom of it. I think even
we've already asked him what he means. We have an obligation to just pretend it makes sense. That's the obligation because it's a mystical DNA molecule. Okay, because we don't know how it got created. We don't know how the universe started, so we can't figure out what chemistry is, and we can't figure out that chemistry has phenomenon not for any purpose. So if you think diamonds are just chemistry, and you think it's irrelevant how they got formed, and it's irrelevant what their structure is, because it's just chemistry, and chemistry is going to take some form, and no matter what form it took, we'd be saying, what the fuck is that? Okay, the fact that we're a byproduct of that, well, no, that can't be true. That's not possible. We can't just be as dumb as a diamond. We've got to be some kind of super double diamond. Our chemistry had to be on purpose. It had to be. The universe wants to be conscious. It wants to be. It needs to be. Oh, fuck this shit.
like Big Lundy, who I know is not Flavour of the Month with you guys. He's an avid student of philosophy. He's good at reading books. He's good at marshalling evidence. At the moment, he's marshalling.
Right, and the last argument I heard him make was that if a woman has an abortion, okay, for the wrong reason, then she's evil. Like, you have to have a qualified reason to kill a little monster that's less sentient than a fucking goldfish. So I have to somehow I have to have an ethical reason. I have to have a good justification to kill something less sentient than a fucking goldfish. So that's how well-read and intelligent and smart this asshole is he fell for one of the most obvious dumb assumptions of the human race, and that is, well, look, the fetus looks like a baby, it looks like a little human, it must be a thinking thing. Right, so he fell for something that fucking stupid, and you're going to tell me, well, this guy's a real guy trying to understand what it is to live on planet Earth. Good intentions make a difference? No, they don't make any fucking difference. The only thing that matters is goddamn suffering, and you people want to waste it. Period. There's no other argument here. You're comfortable wasting it because you've got a privileged life. You've got it good. You're the one that's not going to die of age. You're the one that's not going to fucking get... You already survived. Whew, thank goodness. Just the battery's dead. Yeah, I wouldn't want to lose all this. Wouldn't want to have to do this twice. So let's get this done.
It engages with you at all, even with martial evidence against you. But that's a useful thing, you know. We should be finding people like that who are willing...
Yeah, whatever. We should be finding people who have nihilist, selfish, phantasmagorical, idiotic, purpose-driven fucking philosophies, and that's somehow something connected to reality. All right? This asshole will never concede what life is, which is a wasteful, stupid game. It squanders suffering like it was nothing. And he doesn't value it anyway. He only sees suffering in a Darwinistic... I mean, you've even said this words about Darwinism. You're all fucking Darwinists. Okay? You don't give a fuck. You think there's principle and purpose in just surviving. Okay? Which is absolute nonsense. Survival has nothing to do with fitness. It has nothing to do with the quality of an existence. This is all fucking bullshit. This is all goddamn motherfucking nonsense. These presumptions again. These presumptions of purpose. These presumptions of fetuses with goddamn, you know, some kind of substance to them that somehow makes them more meritorious than the pig that somebody like fucking Fat Ludi would be eating. Right? Why would I seem any affinity, any connection to some fucking pig? All right, who's a selfish motherfucker who thinks sentience is about having a dumb, idiotic, fucking philosophical conversation, who doesn't understand what it is to be run through, I guess, in any kind of realistic way.
To be critical friends who are willing to present the opposite case so you can sharpen your tools a bit. So at the moment, they're blunt as fuck. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, big talk from a weasel, skinny, fucking, nerdy English motherfucking puke. Big talk from nothing. No fucking arguments. So grow balls, asshole. Let's see some fucking goddamn balls. You're going to say it's a nothing argument, then make the counter argument, shithead. Make it. Read your goddamn woo-woo. Okay, you promised us you were going to read your philosophical book of woo-woo. Read the fucking thing. Read it, fucker. All right? Because then we can just prove where you are. You're in some kind of phantasmagorical, silly goddamn world where you think fire is God. All right, you're a motherfucking little Buddhist cunt hiding in this academic, real fucking like I'm a real thinker. No, you're just another one of them, another one of these goddamn posers. Okay, yeah, life is stupid and preposterous, but let's all stoically just keep pushing the boulder up the hill because as long as I'm not the one getting run over. Fuck you! And you're too stupid to realize you might be the one getting run over. That you might not be able to avoid the fate of an absolutely horrible death. I know you must have some little plan. Well, I'll just fucking fuck a goose and get dead man goose disease, but you die in 2 minutes from that. I mean, you've got some plan that you'll take yourself out with pills or you'll do something else, and so you're kind of comfortable that you're not going to get it. Well, guess what? That's not the way real-world life works. That everybody else isn't going to be as comfortable as you, and they're not going to be able to do the things that you're able to do, and they're going to suffer hard. They're going to suffer long, fucking hard suffering and torment because they're not going to have an out like you. They're not going to have some security blanket key that they're just going to turn at the right moment and be all spared the horror. Fuck you. You're just another one of these assholes that all I can say is I hope you get it all. I hope it falls. It all funnels right through your fucking consciousness. Every fucking piano should be falling on your fucking head. You goddamn piano maker. Fuck you.